Hello students, welcome to the lecture for the physical geodesy or the GE 106. So for this day, we will going to discuss the seventh topic, which is all about the Philippine geoid models. This slide is for the authors and contributors of this material, and you already know that these materials are being crafted by these following authors. And also this is for the copyright notice, and as mentioned in this slide, the dissemination of these materials is prohibited unless otherwise with permission of the authors and the Department of Geodetic Engineering. For the outline of this presentation, we will be having four subsections. The first one is the importance of the Philippine geoid models, and followed by the three different models in the Philippine geoid models, which is the PGM 2014, PGM 2016, and lastly the PGM 2018. For the intended learning outcomes, so after this lecture, you the students are able to, first one is to discuss the importance of the Philippine geoid models, explain its mathematical background and historical development of the Philippine geoid models, and lastly is to describe the process involving the importance or the improvement of the geoid model in the Philippines. So let's start our discussion with the importance of the Philippine geoid models. Based on our discussions from the previous lectures, we already know the importance of a geoid or a geoid model. So for specifically in the Philippines, these are the following importance of the PGM or the Philippine geoid model. The first one is for the projects of especially in buildings, as we all know that infrastructure projects and flood control projects are being highlighted, or some sort of spotlight of today's for these issues, and we already know that in putting up a building or infrastructure, it is needed to determine the elevation or the correct or accurate elevation for that specific location. So kaya if dili na to siya mahibawan, what's the specific location? So every areas have zoning, or na mga restrictions, especially sa kanang pagduol ka og airports or mga critical, ang heights is very critical. So it is important to have a very accurate elevations of that specific buildings, and that elevation is came from our geoid models. The next one is, as you all know, again, elevation information requires the determination of elevation of that specific ground. So specifically kanang mag-as-built surveys, or sa sugod pa lang, kanang sa plan pa lang. So it is really important na topographic profile ang isa ka location. So mo nang kung mag-require ta og permit from the building official, so isa sa mga requirement is ang topographic profile sa imong location. And then conventional way daw, before wala pa ang mga geoid models, is to do leveling, specifically geodetic leveling, which takes into account the curvature of the earth, so which is very time consuming and tedious, specifically sa kadaghan kayo nimo, labi na ang imong area makuhaan is layo kayo ang iyang benchmark, so it's really time consuming, and very tedious to do. And with the technology arises, specifically mga GNSS or mga global navigation satellite systems, nga usually is ang iyang ellipsoidal height is known ng H, pag natay GNSS receiver, ang height na makuha niya is ang ellipsoid, kay since global man ang iyang gigamit na model, so ellipsoidal model lang iyang ginagamit, and then the mean sea level is makuha nato siya, kung natin mga muhon or orthometric heights, and then we can get directly the geoid height, which is the N or geoidal undulations, from the formula that H is equals to H minus N, or orthometric height is equals to ellipsoidal height minus N. So this was discussed, mo na itong i-discuss po sa ito ang previous topic. So in continuation, no, the if we talk about surveying, uh, kung mag leveling ta or mag differential leveling or any type of leveling, we are we are concerned on the determination of the mean sea level or kanang h kanang orthometric height, no, that's equal man na siya, no, kung global aspect ang atong isgutan. But the geoid height is required, no, or makuha na to siya through the supplement of the geoid model, which is computed from the gravity model katong discussed on the previous topic, and the h can be obtained from the GNSS. So from the formula that h orthometric height is equals to ellipsoidal minus geodal height. So kung nanakay orthometric height from the surveying works, and then if you have h from the GNSS or MSL also, or kaning h nga tong gikuha is from the geoid model, we can directly get the n, no, the n nga value or the geoid height. So from the formula, no, mama tong gi-discuss. And then mo na akong giingon from the previous topic that kung naa na kay geoid model tapos overlayhan nimo siya og ellipsoidal model, ang difference between the two would be the geoid undulation, no, or kanang mo na siya ang atong i-model for the n or ang kanang geodal height or the geodal undulations. So if you have the two models, the ellipsoidal and the geoid model, which is ang geoid model again is came from the gravimetric measurements or gravitational model, no. So nakaka-create tawag n. So that's the time na mas dali nato siya ma-compute, no, ang more accurate or ang mas accurate rather na n nga value, which is mas dali siya nato ma-calculate in a large area. Di na kinahanglan pa mag-survey og gabi ka tedious, at the same time is di na ta mag cost og more money, no, to determine the elevations of different places. And that is the reason why si GRDC division sa ato ang NAMRIA or the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority. So si GRDC division is part lang siya ka NAMRIA, and the NAMRIA is the our sa tawag ani ato ang National Agency for Mapping, no. So they are always been aspiring, no, as like the other country, no, nga naagid sila yung own na geoid model kay para mas dali na to ma-determine ang elevation sa ato ang place, which is the Philippines, no? So mo nang they are very invested, no, nga kinahanglan jud ta maka-create o katuwang own geoid model. Okay, so the next one is the so much for the importance of the geoid model. So let's talk about the geoid models na create, no, sa Philippines, or kanang gitawag nato na Philippine Geoid Model. The first one is the PGM 2014 or the Philippine Geoid Models of 2014. So it started, no, when in the year 2014, of course, kay PGM 2014 man, when the National Space Institute of Denmark Technology University or DTU Space, they conducted a nationwide airborne gravity survey, which is funded by the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency or NGA, no, worldwide, para ma-refine or ma-improve ang accuracy ni EGM 2008 or the Earth Gravitational Model of 2008. So by this, no, nainyanhid diri no, to survey, to conduct a airborne survey. So they use a aircraft, no, mounted with a sensor para ma-determine or para ma-improve nila ang gravitational model sa in 2008 or the EGM 2008. So in this model, no, the estimated RMS error or root mean square error for airborne data is 2.6 milligal across the country based on the crossover error analysis. So they conducted a survey, then conduct a statistical analysis to create to have a statistical foundation to para mas confident sila nga mao ni ang error, no, nga nakuha na to sa data acquisition. So 2.6 milligal, so dako na siya, no, kay compared, no, sa current na to nga ginagamit na model. So basically ang katurang kadturan na pamaagi, no, sa DTU is gi-adopt siya sa Philippines, and then they asked for an assistance, no, of one of the professor, which is the Professor Rene Forsberg. So out from that survey nga naanay RMS error nga 2.6 milligal, the Philippine adapted that to create a geoid model, no, sa Philippines. So since kay libre man siya, no, or gamay ra ang counterpart sa Philippines, so they adapted this one, and then they computed out from that data, and then kato siya nga model is what we call now is the Philippine geoid model of 2014. So the PGM 2014, they used the data sets with 1,261 land gravity surveys. So naay mga gravity surveys nga gibuhat, no, all over the Philippines, kay SINAMRIA is our mapping agency man. So SINAMRIA in Geodesy Division, they conducted a land gravity surveys all throughout the Philippines, and nakakuha sila og 1,261 land gravity surveys using gravimeters or even conventional, maybe, no, sa unang mga panahon. And then they also used, no, the airborne survey or airborne gravity survey conducted by DTU Space, and then coupled also with the marine satellite altimetry by the use of satellite altimeter, and some of the gravity data from the satellite images, which is the GOTCHE, or the Gravity Field and Steady State Ocean Circulation Explorer, or GOTCHE mission. So integrate na nila to have a PGM 2014. And then based on the integration of those different data sets, the geoid model of the Philippines was computed using the RTM, or the residual terrain modeling, conducted also the terrain reductions, and a rigorous downward continuation process by the least square methods, or least square method, no, collocation with the Grabsov systems, no. So mo ang ginagamit sa NAMRIA to compute and to correct, no, the output. And then they also conducted a Fortran routines, or a set of Fortran routines, which was developed through many years, no, by the DTU Space. No, so also, no, na magidnay mga assistance and the advisorship with the DTU Space, or katong nag-conduct yun og survey. So naa sila yung mga consultant, and then they created the Philippine geoid model of 2014. And as a result, no, so they conducted a comparison between the airborne, no, katong based lang sa DTU Space, and then they compare it with the land gravity data. So after the terrain and EGM reduction for quality control, no, so na comparison para mahibawan ang accuracy, and then how if naay discrepancy, ang next na question is how much, no, dako ra ba, gamay ra ba, or acceptable ra ba siya. So they compared it, and then they found out that there are large errors in the land gravity data nga ilang na-discover, and then na difference of greater than 50 milligauss, no, in total ng discrepancy. So sa inyo makitaan in the slides, no, kanina adiri so naay kana mga red na part, so that's the highest, no, na in positive, no, 50 milligauss. And then kanang mga blue ones, those are the negative values. So that is why that is the figure na inyo makitaan na ang differences no between the comparison between the airborne and the land gravity data. So kana. And then they computed also the standard deviation, which is if we are going to reduce that into geoid is 0.25 meter, and naa siya maximum value na up to 2.88 meters. So imagine no, if these discrepancies nga magamit no, so that 2.88 almost hapit na siya mag size sa isa ka floor no, sa isa ka building. So imagine nga nakadako ang discrepancy. So that is why they computed no, standard deviation. And also in PGM 2014, they kay since dako ra kay to siyang error, so they conducted again a series of calculations. They used the hybrid or MSL based geoid nga gigamit no para to calculate those one. So dili lang kagatong primero kay gravity man no, through gravity and airborne gravity data, so dako kay ang error, so that's around 0.25 ang iyang standard deviation, and yung maximum value is 2.88 meters. So para ma-reduce pa na siya, so they conducted another run, or they conducted another created another methodology unsay mas nindot na buhaton. So the next one is they use the MSL based nga geoid model. MSL di ba katong orthometric no, nga mga data. Then they used the 190 GNSS data in ITRF 2005 leveling benchmarks to fit no the gravimetric geoid. So from the gravimetric geoid, they fit in no the 190 GNSS data from the ITRF 2005 nga leveling benchmarks. No, lahi man pud ning si ITRF no kay reference frames man, so global gyapon ni siya, pero in the year 2005. So kana nga project ila tong gigamit no kay naman sila data of around 190 ka stations. So they use that to fit in or to infuse in the model no para mas ma-improve pa ang geoid model. So they do that by forcing the geoid heights or kanang N or the geoid or the geodal undulation to coincide with the observed geoid heights in GNSS leveling. So again, no, kinaman sila atong ITRF 2005. So since this is also a GNSS data, they can now get no the N value from the ITRF. And then ang katong N nga value nga nakuha from the previous na simulation, they forced that no nga mo coincide or mo parihas no ang N nga geoid o ang atong N rather no from the MSL based nga geoid sa ITRF 2005. So ilang iparihas no para mo fit in gyud ang validation or ang model mismo. So in this fitting, the GNSS data showed a large error or relatively large error with respect to the geoid nga na-calculate no from the previous simulation. So with the large outliers in some regions, so inyo makit-an dira sa figure, again the red one is the positive values and the blue is the negative values. Although all throughout sa mga areas in the Philippines naman po'y parihas lang or gamay lang ang error no kanang mga green ones no, but most of the areas is naagid siya mga error no. So again no, with the large outliers in some region, it is like this is basically no came from the combination of the geodynamic effects or the leveling in the GNSS error. So since ang value no sa ITRF 2005 is dugay na siya no na calculate, And also again taking into consideration that the earth is dynamic, so naagi mga changes no all throughout the time. So mo na naidako kay nga mga error pa nung ilang nakita during sa pag-create nila sa PGM 2014. And then as well as the separation of the tide gauge no nga height systems in different islands. So kung giingon it might be no naagid ni mga discrepancies no sa MSL labi na og local no nga based sa tide gauge nila no or kanang low tides, high tides sila man ang i-average no para maka-create ka og mean sea level. So that's why no mo na ang mga error nga nakuha nila during sa pag conduct or pag-create nila sa PGM 2014. So, based on that model sa katong pag-infuse or pag-force, naana siya RMS fit to GNSS leveling nga 0.5 meters with the maximum offset of 1.45 meters. The same siya sa first na calculation, ang kalainan lang is mas nigamay ang iyang maximum offset. Ngay katong first na calculation is 2.88. So katong gi-infuse na nila na natoy data from the ITRF 2005 no or the orthometric heights from the RTRF 2005. So na lang siya 1.49. But it is therefore not possible no to use data for validation of the geoid. So mo na ilahang conclusion no for this specific calculation. So the figure 4 or this figure shows the comparison of the PGM 2014, which is the gravimetric, and also compared to EGM 2008. So makita nato na there are areas nung naadyoy mga large errors, especially in the south or in the Mindanao Island nung naadyoy dako nga error nung makita nimo na mag-red jud siya nga diha ang part. And then some also parts of the Philippines naaga po siya yung negative na values ng discrepancies. So kanang makita ninyo nga blue. So with the large errors in land gravity and GNSS leveling data, specifically on the geoid accuracy nga 0.25 niya ang iyang RMS fit is 0.50 respectively, the PGM 2014 will not satisfy most of the GNSS surveys requiring the accuracies of 10 cm or better. No, naman tay standards no especially sa discrepancies or the accuracies na allowed lang. So dili siya kasulod sa 10 cm kay since ang iyang accuracy is 0.25 niyang iya pag yung RMS fit is 0.50. So dili gid siya satisfied no sa based on the calculation. So although the PGM 2014 can be used no for topographic surveys in remote areas, especially katong mga nanagid sa bukid, no? So pwede na nato siya gamiton kay since again no ang iyang accuracy is not satisfied pero it's still a good estimation, preliminary estimation of our geoid model, especially sa kanang pag-estimate nato sa mga remote areas or katong mga areas nga di na nato kaya surveyhon tungod kay delikado no. So ang iyang elevation daw can estimate less than 1 meter will suffice, but this geoid can still be improved or should be improved kay since mapamani ang first no nga calculation sa ato ang geoid model in the Philippines. But again, it's a good start, and then pero pwede na gyapon siya gamiton for remotely areas lang. Pero katong mga requiring kuan dili pagid siya ingana ka nindot no nga ang iyang accuracy. And naturally, all surveyors would want a geoid model that can produce elevation that are less accurate than leveling. So let's say for example, less than 10 cm standard deviation at 95% confidence level, especially sa katong mga areas nga gabi ka critical no like residential, commercial, agricultural no nga nga naay mga improvements. So syempre as a surveyor or as a geodetic engineer, kinahanglan jud ta mugamit no og geoid model, especially sa pagkuha nato sa height, nga mas accurate and mas confident ta no nga gamiton siya. And then to further improve these geoid models, they say that it is the best to follow the common geodetic methodology as outlined daw in the paper Towards a Centimeter Geoid in Malaysia. So they refer again para ma-improve pa ning PGM 2014, our geodesists in Namria, they explore no the possibilities of making no a centimeter level geoid no in Malaysia, or i-adapt na to ang katong sa Malaysia nga methodology. So again, from as we have mentioned earlier, no, ang best to follow daw is the common geodetic advice from the paper Towards a Centimeter Geoid in Malaysia, published by Forsberg in 2005. So to conduct this one, or para ma-improve daw ni siya ang atuang geoid model, we will conduct no leveling networks, or we will carefully analyze and adjust the errors for our leveling networks nga gamiton for to get the RMS fit. Then the connections and antenna height errors for GPS data on benchmarks must be also revisited or reanalyzed. Try to check if sakto ba ang pag-calculate or sakto ba ang pag-measure sa antennas. Okay, it would give erroneous data no kung mamali na to siya or dili sakto ang pag-conduct no sa GNSS surveys. And then we will remove, according to this paper, remove daw those erroneous points nga naay mga outliers no sa statistics. Nga na gid na no pag naay malahi, wala siya nisunod sa kasagaran sa mga data, labi na katong mga error. So tanggalon na lang gid siya para or tanggalon or i-resurvey kay basin og naay na mali ana nga pag-compute or na mali pag-record or whatsoever. So again, pwede siya tanggalon or pwede pud siya i-resurvey to check kung sakto ba gyud no ang katong data nga imong gigamit. And then the new GPS fitted version of the geoid must be computed as the new batches of GPS leveling data. So again, if ever na naay mga i-conduct o through nga mga GNSS surveys, so must be computed daw as a new batches of GPS leveling data. And then another one from the advice is additional gravity surveys in major cities and GPS users height problem reports must come in. So again, i-recompute and then i-compute siya as different batch and then i-fit in na dayon siya sa model. So the next geoid models that Dinamria conducted is the PGM 2016, or the calculations of Dinamria for geoid models is the PGM 2016. So for the PGM 2016, with the help of the Professor Forsberg, katong paper niya gigamit na Towards a Centimeter geoid no in Malaysia. So gihimo siyang consultant. So Dinamria started to recompute no that PGM 2014 para maka-create og another geoid model, which is the PGM 2016. And in this recomputation, the 2014 satellite and airborne data processing results was being used. Katong same ra gihapon na data sets from 2014. Katong airborne, and then some of the gotcha na na satellites or na-acquired na mga data sets from satellite Gotche were also used. And then only the land gravity, GNSS, and leveling data were reprocessed and reanalyzed. No, sa ato ang katong land gravity data, GNSS na nakuha sa ITRF 2005, and leveling data was rechecked and reanalyzed and reprocessed, then infuse it again with different data sets like the satellite and airborne data. And the 2016 leveling data was reanalyzed, readjusted, and corrected, with some outliers are being deleted. So katong mga dili na mabalikan or ma-revisit, so katong mga dagko gig error gipang tanggal siya, no? Gi-delete siya kay maka-apekto man siya, no? Especially no kung based sa magyapon sa tuang mga discussion, no, kung mayon ka og statistics, so kung may mga outliers tanggalon jud na siya kay maka-apekto siya sa analysis. And then the GNSS data was reprocessed, readjusted, and points with large height error and ellipses were being deleted. So katong mga, again, mura siya outlier, no, in terms of the data sets from leveling, no. So kung naapod sila na process na GNSS data, so katong mga dagkog error, so gi-delete siya. And after removing the GNSS leveling outliers, 101 out of 190 benchmarks, no, so naipili na tanggal 89, no. So mo to na delete, and then mo na lang dito gigamit for fitting, no. And then to fit in or to if give it in para ma-recompute ang gravimetric geoid. So that's mo ilang gibuhat na step, no, for to calculate the PGM 2016. So as a result, no, after the fitting of the new GNSS or leveling data, ang RMS fit now is 0.054 meters, no, with the minimum and maximum offset value of negative 0.124 meter, and ang maximum is 0.169 meters respectively. So based on the result, it really improved, no, the accuracy of the PGM 2014 based on the recomputed of the PGM 2016. Then this improvement is made up mainly due to the removal of the erroneous, no, nga mga leveling and GNSS points. So katong mga gipang remove and delete, no, katong mga outliers. And then this represented a major improvement, no, of the geoid for GNSS use, and again highlight the need to carefully conduct a quality control of all the GNSS data, or not just GNSS but all of the data sets na gigamit for the model. And based on the figure 5 shows na mo na ni karon ang difference, no, between the or the result, no, of the PGM 2016, and then which is corrected na and all. So again, the red ones are going to the red shades, mo na siyang positive, and then negative is ang blue. Okay, so the next PGM model in the Philippines is the Philippine Geoid model of 2018. So after 2 years again, there's another geoid model in the Philippines now. So for the advancement or the changes, no, in 2018, syempre, no, na may mga satellite data sets na pwede gamiton, no, na tay mga available satellite images na pwede gamiton to recompute again our geoid models. So the Philippine geoid model was recomputed again using the original airborne, additional land gravities, and GNSS leveling data, and then recomputed through the GravSoft programs or software. So in this latest geoid model for the Philippines, it is computed by the NAMRIA, or the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, and the geoid covers in the regions where the latitude is 24 until 22 degrees, no, in the north, and then the longitude of 112 to 128 degrees, no, eastward. And ang iyang resolution, spatial resolution is 0.025 degrees or 1 minute and 30 seconds ang iyang resolution. So, in this specific recalculations, there are 779 land gravity data points were gathered and then processed and tabulated in Excel format. So, syempre, no, gigamit na po itong mga before. So, gidugangan lang siya. No, and then, para mahimo siya og 5,779 land gravity datas. And then, in Excel format, no, naa siya ID, no, location, longitude, latitude, gravity value, and elevation as required by the GravSoft program, no, to check the anomalies or the discrepancies. And then for quality checking, the air-land gravity differences ranges from 0.016 milligauss to 23.4 milligauss, indicating to the closeness of the land gravity point position to the gravity data. So, ilang gi quality control, and then they come up with these differences or ranges of differences, no, sa gravity data, which is ranging from 0.016 to 23.4 milligauss. And then there are also set of 286 GNSS leveling data were being used to fit, no, the model or the PGM 2018 model. Some of it sa 286 came from the 2016, no, na PGM model, so 101, no, di ba 190 man to before. Tapos gikuha ang na outlier, so nahimo siyang 101. So mo na siya, no, gidugangan lang, so nahimo na siyang 286 in PGM 2018. And then the survey was done, no, from 2010 until 2018 with the additional points coming from the PGM validation project that started last in 2016. So ang kaning pag-calculate, no, sa mga GNSS or leveling data, but dili lang po siya nag-end, no, kay since mao pa man yung latest nga GEOD model sa Philippines, so it doesn't mean nga nag-stop na sila na sa pag-calculate. So ang NAMRIA Geodesy Division, syempre nagid po na sila ginabuhat na conduct na continuous na surveys, no, labi na karon, no, they launched this PageNet, no, kanang mga active geodetic stations na gina-deploy, no, like the one that is in the rooftop of Dahinang na naay kuan didto na ay sa tawagan na ay AGS or active geodetic station nga continuously rather, no, getting the data from the satellite 24/7. And then the figure in the slides indicating the benchmarks, no, nga gi-survey or gi-calculate, gidugangan, no, throughout the Philippines. So that's the 286 leveling and GNSS datasets. In PGM 2018, the leveling data points that was used for the adjustment or the fitting came from the first order level networks nationwide, and then with 95% confidence level, no. So ang kaning measures mo'y makahatag og somehow accuracy or reliability sa data since 95% ba lang iyang confidence level, and then ranging from the 0.005 to 0.05 meters ang iyahang adjustment or ang iyang accuracy. So as you have noticed, no, gamay ra kayo ang range, no, sa iyahang discrepancy. So the RMS value of good fit of the GEOD fit is around 0.022 meters, and ang iyang minimum and maximum values for offset is negative 0.058 and the maximum is 0.063 meters respectively as shown. So before the fitting daw, so before the calculations was made, ang standard deviation niya is 0.531 and nasa minimum value nga 0.422 and maximum of 2.737 meters. But after the fitting and calculating all the necessary calculations and adjustment of the error, so ang after fitting, ang iyahang mean value is 0.001 with standard deviation of 0.022 with minimum and maximum values of 0.058 negative, no? And then the maximum value is 0.063 meters. So in the PGM 2018, so of course, no, para ma-come up na siya na accuracy, so there are GNSS or leveling data were being fit in or gisulod, no, sa model, because as the more the merrier, di ba? So kung daghan ang data, so mas nindot pud ang iyang output. Okay, so based from our presentation, last na slide, no, so mao ni siya ang matrix, no, on before and after fitting, no, sa geared model in 2018. So nag-improve gid siya, no, basically from the before fitting or even, no, sa katong PGM 2016. So ang GNSS survey projects, for GNSS survey projects requiring elevation and accuracies with 5 to 30 cm, the geared model is good for the geodetic leveling. Okay, since dako-dako naman siya accuracy. So if ever na you will conduct more accurate surveys, no, so labi na sa kanang mga topographic surveys sa mga heavily disturbed na mga areas, kanang constant bitaw or dynamic ang pag-disturb sa area, so you can use this geared model, no, for alternative of geodetic leveling. And the resulting H can be as accurate as geared model and GNSS surveys, no. So okay, again, 95% confidence level, and also the standard deviation is low, and with the discrepancies also of minimum and maximum is low, indicating high accuracy. And then this is the figure showing the PGM, no, 2018, no. Yung makita, no, na the red ones are the higher values and the blue ones are the smaller values. And then the geared model file in .gri, no, can be or even the Trimble file or the GGF or the GeoTIFF formats along with the user-friendly interpolation software is available to download in the NAMRIA. No? So you can download these values, no, kaning mga N nga naka T file or any GIS readable file nga inyong gamitan. So you can visit at namria.gov.ph to download the geoid model. And this is the references for this lecture. You can freely check this into the internet, and then makita ninyo ang different references kung giun sa nila pag-calculate ang different Philippine geoid models. And that's it for the lecture number 7. And for any questions, so you can message me or message through our LMS chat, so sa Masaw LMS, or you can PM, no, the Facebook page, no, where akong gi-post sa to ang LMS. So thank you so much, no, for listening this recorded video, and I hope that it will suffice, no, or it will supplement your knowledge, no, in physical geodesy and in answering our assessments. Thank you so much, and see you again.